Hey scholars, welcome to Photo 2. This is your syllabus review. I'm your instructor, Mr. Byrne. I'm going to do things a little differently this year. Instead of wasting valuable class time going over the syllabus, I've kind of made this an out-of-class assignment. This is going to be connected with a open note quiz, which will be due at the end of the week. So in conjunction with this video and the syllabus, you'll be required to get 100% on the quiz. The idea here is not to penalize you, but for you to get the information so we are all on the same page. All right, so let's get started. So the Photo 2 syllabus review. First off, my contact information. This is in the syllabus as well, but basically the best ways to get a hold of me are through emailing me or by texting me, and we'll get to that in just a minute, using a program called Remind. My office hours are Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 3:50 to 4:50, and Friday mornings by appointment. I am more than happy to come in and work with you if you need help, any extra help on assignments, but it needs to be scheduled on Fridays so that way we can meet. I generally like to meet in the mornings, early mornings if possible. I am not available on Wednesdays. I have an out-of-school commitment that I do, so just make sure you plan accordingly for that. Communication is vital to being successful in this class, and as I just previously mentioned, we're using a new program called Remind. You can text right on your cell phone at C42CG6A to the number 81010, or you can go to the link that is provided within your syllabus and just put in that and join the class, and I'll be sending you reminders about lessons and assignments and announcements and things like that. It's a great way to communicate. You can also reply to those text messages to text me back, which is going to be the quickest and easiest way. Please understand that after 10 p.m. I turn off my do not disturb, or turn on my do not disturb, so anything after 10 p.m. I will not receive until the next day, but I'll do my best to get back to you. All right, the course description is this is a skills-based class. We'll focus on helping scholars build and develop photography skills and composition, manipulation of the exposure triangle, and through the application of digital image software. We will produce images weekly, which means we're going to be taking a ton of photos. It's a photography class. That makes sense. You'll be doing these on your own while developing skills in Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom. We'll be doing that in class. There is no reason to purchase those products unless you want to. There is a $9.99 version you can purchase of Photoshop and Lightroom. It's called the Photography Package through Creative Cloud for your home use if you would like, but it is absolutely not a requirement for class. We have plenty of resources within the class to do that. One of the things we will be doing on a regular basis as well is practicing and giving and receiving meaningful feedback about their works of art. So that's a great way to get better as well. You're going to be using all that language that you learned in Photo 1, which will be great. All right, so these are the MYP outcomes. I'm not going to go into too much detail there, but make sure you check those out and have an understanding of those. This is essentially what we're trying to do within the class. Okay, your assessments. Criterion A, which is knowing and understanding. Criterion B, developing skills. Criterion C, thinking creatively. And Criterion D, responding. These make up approximately 80% of your grade. ATLs, the summative assessments, and the final exam make up the other 20%. So it's important that you get those things turned in, but understand we're actually not having a final exam. We'll actually be doing a final big project, which we'll be doing on the day that we have finals, and we'll go over that more in detail, but basically you're going to be executing a photo shoot from the top down, which will be lots of fun. Okay, how you receive your grade. This is how things are weighted. ATLs, those are your soft skills, are weighted as a 1. Formative assessments are weighted as a 2, and your summative assessments / projects are weighted as a 4. So those definitely have a higher impact on your grade. You should be familiar with the IB scale. If you get 100% on a project, you will receive an 8. So that means it's perfection. It's great. There's no room for improvement. a 1, which is a 65%, and then anything below that, a 64.9 or less, will receive a 0. Even if you don't feel like your work is up to that 65%, it is so important that you turn something in. And we'll get to that reason why in just a moment here. Okay, supplies. You should have all of your supplies. These are all the same supplies that were required in Photo 1. You should not have to go out and purchase these items. If you do not have them, though, you will need to have them. We will be using your thumb drive often in class, and then that 16 gigabyte SD card you will need for all of the DSLR projects that we're going to be doing in class. You do not need to purchase a DSLR. Your cell phone will work for most of the outside of class, all of the outside of class photography projects. If you do not have a cell phone or access to one, please come to me one-on-one and we can discuss some options that are available to you. All right, keys to success. This is something new that we are implementing this year, and it's a course outline. And this is in your syllabus, which is right here. And this is essentially just a little preview of what it will look like. But what I've done here is I've broken down each week. So starting here with week 1, these are the dates and then what unit we'll be embarking on. And these are the topics that we're going to be discussing within the class. And then the due dates for everything. So this first week, we have a syllabus quiz, which is due at the end of the week, a selfie, number 1 selfie, which means we'll be taking one later on in the class, supplies, and your email signature, and then signing up for that Remind Me account. So once you are able to do all those things, what I suggest you do, this is essentially a checklist to success. You can go through and you can highlight or check off, mark off as you get these assignments done. That way you know you will never miss an assignment. You also know what's coming up next week, which is fantastic for planning. So you will know when your summative assessments are, what week they are due, which is great for planning. So if you are an athlete or you are involved in dance or theater, you will know when you're going to be doing those things. So for example, let's see here if we can, so we have a presentation due on January 29th. And let's see here. Your green screen images are due on the 28th. And it says on there what criterion that we're going to be evaluating, and then when it's due. So you can go through and mark off all of those things. Spring break, nothing due. You're welcome. All right, back to this. So make sure you check that out. That is probably the one thing in the syllabus you should spend the most time with, and something that you are referencing often, weekly at the minimum, that you need to be evaluating that and seeing where you're at with things. Okay, let's talk about absences. All right, excuse absences. These are your parents call you in. You have an athletic event or theater, field trip, whatever the situation may be. I know I put athletes here, but this applies to everyone that has an excused absence. You are given, let's see here, one full makeup privileges and credits will be given for excused absence. The student or scholar is given 1 day of makeup time for each day missed. So if you have a game and you are out, you get 1 additional day to turn in things without any penalty. But understand that you need to complete any summative assessments before it is due. If it is a planned absence, there will absolutely be no makeups or retakes for summative assessments. Let me say that again. There will be no makeups or retakes for summative assessments. That also includes the final. So make sure you plan accordingly. You have that course outlined so you know when things are coming. An unexcused absence, basically ditching. The repercussions there are that in my class is that you receive a 0. So make sure that you do not ditch my class. All right. This is new, and this is in red for a reason, because a lot of teachers are a little more flexible on this. I, however, am not. So like I said, you'll be given an additional day for an excused absence, but all other late work will not be accepted beyond its due date. So make sure you turn something in. By turning something in, what that allows you to do is to redo the assignment. Scholars will be given the opportunity to redo any assignment if it was turned in on time. You're going to have to complete a reflection form along with any redone assignment. So there'll be a little extra work involved with any redos. And like I said, there's no redos on summative assessments or the final exam. But you need to understand that you need to turn something in. Those zeros can absolutely crush your grade. So you need to make sure you turn that stuff in on time. And then even if it isn't complete or it's not perfect, you'll have the opportunity to redo it to boost your grade. But by not turning something in, that would be awful. So make sure you turn something in. That's what I'm telling you. All right. You will receive a project pass for successfully turning in supplies and passing the syllabus quiz, which you're going to be doing this week. So by Thursday, you're going to receive that project pass. This is a great little tool as this is a year 5 class. A lot of sophomores in this class. You will be having a lot of things like your personal projects and tipping point projects that are due. Maybe on those weeks when you have a lot going on, you can use this project pass. It's going to be a great little tool to kind of give you a break if you need it. If you do not use your project pass, I will either purchase them back at the end of class, at the end of the semester, or you can use it to replace a grade to boost your grade, which will be great. It can be used on any assignment and projects, but it does exclude the summative assessment and also the final assessment. So make sure that you use that ahead of time. So that's a great little thing that you can use. All right, let's go over some classroom expectations. The best ability is availability. So being in class is definitely one of the things that you can do to be successful. So let's scroll down here really fast. All right, so we went over those things. All right, tardies. Scholars who arrive after the door closes will be marked as tardy, and after a total of 6 tardies, the scholars will receive a referral. That's not me. All of my policies here are based right out of the parent and student handbook. That's an automated thing. So basically, if your teacher lets you out late, you need to have them send you with a pass, an email, something. Because I'm going to ask you, do you have a pass? And if you say no, I'm just going to mark you tardy. I'm not going to sit there and call you out. Just understand that it's important that you show up on time. This is a skill that you need to have for life. You show up to your job late on a consistent basis, you will not have a job. All right, academic dishonesty. I'm not going to spend too much time here. Basically, I'm very good at catching people who cheat. I know how to backward search images. This is a photography class. You need to take pictures. You need to use your work and be able to show that. I'm the media teacher. I know about media. I know how to use computers. I have cameras. So don't do it. It's not worth selling out your integrity. So make sure that you check this out and don't do that. Okay. Cell phones. On occasion, we will be using cell phones in class. During those times, you can use your phones for its intended purpose, usually taking a picture. Otherwise, they are turned off and in your backpack. If seen out at an inappropriate time, the phone will be confiscated, and a parent will have to come to the school and pick it up. Please don't test me on this. This includes having it in your back pocket. If I see it, I'm going to ask for it. So just make sure your cell phones are where they should be. Computers, like cell phones, are to be used for school purposes. Activities like gaming, social networking, and instant messaging are to be done on your own time. If these activities become a distraction, the computer will be put away or taken for the period. Further occurrences will follow the school's disciplinary procedures. Basically, guys and girls, no gaming. That is something I have a zero tolerance for. So resist that temptation. Just make sure you don't have that up on your screen. So don't do that. All right, you can access the student handbook here. I put a link in there for you, student parent handbook, if you have questions about any of those other policies. All right, moving on. Okay, so we covered all of those things. Okay, so the quiz will be due on, actually need to correct this to Thursday. So it'll be due on Thursday at midnight. Like I said, it is open note. We're going to go over this a little more in detail in class. The idea here, like I said, is not to penalize you, but to make sure that you are masters of this information so there are no questions. All right, scholars, I am super excited for this semester. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to take a lot of pictures. And here's my promise to you. You will leave this class a better photographer, period. So let's have a great semester. Thanks, scholars.